Okay, we're live.
All right. Well, good. I guess it's technically afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the October 15th, 2024 meeting of the Board of Commissioners for Whatcom County Fire District 4. I'll call the meeting to order since it's noon, and I'll start the roll call. Steve Cooley, Commissioner.
Tim Johnson, Commissioner.
Mark Lamb, Commissioner.
Jason Vanderveen, Fire Chief.
All right. And now we open up the public comment period. Chief, do we have anybody?
No, sir.
Nobody today. All right. So the public comment period is hereby closed. And we will move to the next part of our agenda, which is approval of the consent agenda. All matters within the consent agenda have been distributed to each member of the Board of Commissioners for review, are considered routine, and will be enacted by one motion of the board with no separate discussion. If a separate discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda by request. And our consent agenda today includes the meeting minutes from our meeting on the 23rd of September, which was delayed from our September 16th originally scheduled meeting. We had the normal staff reports, financial reports, although you all probably saw the note that Jessica wasn't able to get some data from the county, so there's a little bit of missing data there that we normally have. Our voucher, payroll, and benefits, which includes our direct deposit for payroll of $483 and a monthly expenditure voucher for $2,000. That was our payment to Liz Loomis. Are we done with them, Chief? Or are we still?
We're
Okay,
still continuing. Yeah.
Ongoing thing. Okay.
I mean, that's up for review. If you'd like to discuss that, we can, but.
Well, we might want to in the future. Maybe you and I can discuss it offline just to kind of monitor what they're doing for us. And
okay. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, those two total to our total expenditures of $2,483 this month, and our total revenue was $48,953.31. So that's the consent agenda. I would entertain a motion for approval of that agenda.
Second.
Okay, so we have Commissioner Land moved and we have Commissioner Johnson seconding. Any further discussion on the consent agenda before we vote? No further discussion, so I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda say aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. The consent agenda is approved. All right, moving on to unfinished business. We got a couple things on the list, kind of our normal two things we're checking in with, our station exterior project and our fire engine bid. Chief, you want to take that away?
Station exterior project. We've had the first of 3 contractors meet with us there. So we've got 2 more visits coming up. So we should be getting bids from them shortly. In addition to that, we're doing some prep based on recommendation of one of the first contractor that came through. And we're going to remove some kind of nasty pine trees that are on the northeast corner of the firehouse. Just provide more direct sun, less pine needles, just kind of clean it up. It's something that's been needed to be done. So gonna have those removed. Fire engine bid, I'm meeting with Pierce Manufacturing next Wednesday here at my office to go over that. So should have some numbers and a picture for you.
Great.
So.
All right, and I understand you're kind of managing the station bid project yourself at the moment,
yes,
right?
For right now I am. Yep.
Right now. Okay. All right. Any discussion or comments or questions for the chief about all that? None? All right. Well, that takes care of our. Tim, did you have something or no?
No.
Okay. All right. That takes care of our unfinished business. Let's move to new business. First on the agenda is the District 21 planning session that the chief attended, and I also attended this last Saturday. I guess between the two of us, we can give you an update on what they discussed. We have the agenda. I guess to kind of sum it all up, the discussion, we were there from 9 until about 2 p.m. They're just discussing any possible way that they can find and or save money, given the fact that their levy lid lift request failed. And I guess my big takeaway from that was I was very thankful that we were not having to do the same thing, thanks to our constituents and their support of our levy lid lift request. So again, thank you to our voters for supporting that, because without their support, we would be in the same, probably a worse position than D21 is. But Chief, did you have any specific things you wanted to mention that came to light during that meeting?
No, I think I did speak before District 21's board, and I recognize that Commissioner Cooley was in the audience, but did commit that District 4 will have no brownouts. That District 4 citizens will receive kind of what we'll call our top tier service. They voted for the levy, and also as District 21 moves forward with things, thinking about I'll call them alternative funding sources, such as there's a possibility that the district board will look at looking at using a collection agency to collect medical bills that have medical transport bills that have not been paid. I would not recommend that District 4 do the same thing. It's my feeling that you bring in enough revenue that's with your EMS transports, that's not something that you need to do yet. But just wanted you to know that the staff is very cognizant of the fact that it would not be a one size fits all deal. We'd have to figure out a legal way to parse that out so that the District 4 resident no District 4 transports would be sent to collections if that is a choice that District 21 board makes to forward their people to collections. So I want you to know that we're thinking very deep as far as I don't want to use the word austerity measures, but it's probably the best word I have for it. That none of the austerity measures spill over into the District 4 level of service or anything like that. So hopefully Commissioner Cooley would feel like we talked about those kind of things, and those discussions will continue.
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up, Chief. Yeah, that's one of the, I guess, less palatable things that District 21 is having to consider. Sending some of their constituents to collections for things they haven't paid. And yeah, I would agree that in our position in District 4, since we had support of our levy lid lift, we're not there yet. But yeah, that's a good example of some of the less desirable things that District 21 is having to consider to stay afloat. So yes, and thank you for mentioning the brownout. Yeah, Bruce Ansel, the chair of their commission, mentioned that because we are quote unquote paying full freight, we would not experience any of the brownouts that they may have to institute. And that would be a tough sell to our voters because they did support our lid lift. So telling them we were going to maintain 24-hour staffing and then suddenly telling them we couldn't anymore would be challenging. But anyway, one never knows what's going to happen. So thank you again, Chief. Yeah, I thought it was a productive meeting. It went a little long, but those meetings kind of do. And they kind of tried to leave no stone unturned, and had their attorney there who did a really good job of explaining some of the options and things that they consider, they can consider. So yeah, I found it very valuable. Mark, yes, sir.
Yeah, were there any discussions about just partnership options? Bill was, not that there would or wouldn't be, but just kicking it around. Last month Bill was pretty open about partnering or exploring partnerships with the city or South Whatcom or anybody else. It just seemed like it's the elephant in the room. And again, I'm not suggesting there are alternatives. I'm just wondering if there were discussions about it.
Chief, I don't recall any specific discussions about that particular topic. Yeah, about partnering with other districts. Yeah, that didn't come up. Am I wrong about that?
I think that, to the best of my recollection, I just suggested that we, move forward one more year. And, now that I think we need to wait for clarity on what this Bellingham annexation thing is going to do before, before we look at, is the city a better partner or is South Wacom a better partner? We've we've just reversed the roles, right? We've done this for years. so now we've just reversed the roles. And I think hopefully you'll see District 21 and myself and the staff really drawing that line between the two, drawing that imaginary line between the two districts that says, District 4 is, they get this because they voted for that, and District 21 is going to have to follow these. This is going to have to be their plan. And so hopefully that gives you all confidence that we can run a unified district or a unified organization with maybe some slight variances in the level of service that we might have to provide just based financially. So no, I think it was, at this late hour, Commissioner Land, I think, this late in the year, I don't think we can't flip anything up. If you want to start, if the board would like to start some conversations with South Wacom, I think that would be something to do, get them to the table early in the year, next year, or the city of Bellingham, or maybe we want to put a working group together and see if, South Wacom, Bellingham, North Wacom, get us all in the room and, see if there's a change in order. But I don't think we're going to do anything for 2025 different than we're doing now.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. And again, I'm not proposing or putting my foot on the gas on any of those options. I was just curious, I just want to be looped in on the level of discussion is all.
Got it. Okay. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, that didn't come up. So, all right. Any other comments or questions about that? Okay. Well, we can close that topic and move on to the next one, which is the consolidation study meeting that I believe Chief and Bruce went as well, right? To the kickoff meeting there. Or okay.
Yes, Commissioner Ansel and I went to the kickoff meeting, and then there was a County Commissioners Association meeting about a week later, I think, that I went to as well. And so that process has started off. The county consolidation study has started off. I did meet with one of the consultants. We didn't actually end up talking too much about the District 4 or District 21 operation because I kind of spent most of my time filling him in on what I'll call Fire District 101 in the state of Washington. That so the consulting companies from the East Coast, so they don't have, doesn't seem to have much experience with the way things are done here, at least in the state of Washington. They weren't aware that you guys are actually publicly elected officials. They thought maybe you were firefighters that had been elected by the other firefighters to run the fire department. It was an interesting conversation. So we talked about RCWs. We looked at a map of the fire districts. We talked about past consolidations. We talked about the contract for services with District 4 and District 21. Never got to the operational side of how our department functions, which is what the discussion was supposed to be. Then there was this county fire commissioners meeting where they tasked a few chiefs and a couple commissioners. I'm sitting on that group of coming up with a 30-minute outreach to each county councilor about what is a fire district, where did they come from, how are they funded, and what is your role in the state of Washington as an elected official of a special taxing district. So we're currently developing that. We've got an outline going. We're going to put together a super simple PowerPoint and get one chief and one commissioner to go around and meet with each of the county councilors for 15 to 30 minutes and kind of do the spiel. But what has come out of this, I think more than anything, is that we as the fire service lack the personal relationships with the county elected officials. They don't know what we do, and we don't know what they do, or we think we know what they do, and they think they know what we do, and either one of us is right. And so I think it's just that lack of personal relationship and lack of communication on a person-to-person level that's kind of got us in this weird spot. So we're going to start with that outreach program and see if that leads to maybe, county council person maybe coming to talk to the county fire commissioners, or jumping in as a guest at one of our meetings, just to watch how the proceedings go and see if they can learn more, see if they're interested in learning more about how fire districts work in the state of Washington. Because there seems to be some mis or disinformation out there. So that's kind of a long version of where we're at with the consolidation study. They did say that because we did not, the consultant did say that because we didn't get to the operational discussion that he had hoped to have with me, that he wants to meet later. I don't know what later is. They're hoping to have this study wrapped up in a year. I think that's a pretty eager goal. That way, I wouldn't give myself a year to do this. But we'll see what they come up with.
Is there, just two questions, any documentation that they provided, any handouts that describe their timeline or their approach?
Yeah, I
or anything like
I
that?
can forward you an email from them.
Okay. Just wondering if they had kind
Yes,
of,
I'll send it to all three of you.
okay, yeah, be interesting to know what they're, and that's kind of goes along with my next question, just, yeah, so what's next? What are they doing? And I think it's great that you and your team are coming up with that 30-minute presentation. What's the next for the company? What are they?
I think they met with a couple districts. They'd hoped to meet with them all, but they didn't really have enough time in their visit. They're from the firm is from Pennsylvania, so kind of doing a long haul deal back and forth. There could be some Zoom meetings coming up. I'm not sure what's next on their. I'm not sure what's next on their agenda. How they're going to tackle this next. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, I was going to say, I bet there's going to be some Zoom meetings if they're in Pennsylvania. So,
yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Mark, Tim, questions or
Just
comments?
sounds like a colossal waste of time and taxpayer money to me.
There's,
I
yeah,
think a lot of commissioners share. I see Commissioner Johnson's head nodding as well. I think there's a lot of commissioners that feel exactly that same way. That's what I'm getting.
how are they being funded? You know?
That is the $1 million question. Well, it's at least a $250,000 question.
Right.
They've never said where that money's coming from. And many of us have dug through everything that we've been able to find out at the county, and there's no bars number attributed to it. We can't seem to find out where it's getting.
Just magically coming up with $250,000 from somewhere. All right. Were county council members in attendance too, Chief?
No, sir. No.
Okay. All right.
No county council at the kickoff meeting, and no county council at any of the other meetings.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're sort of in a standby mode and wait and see. I am interested in seeing whatever documents they provided, though, since I wasn't able to go to those meetings. But if there are future ones, I will do my best to be there, because I definitely want us to stay on top of what they're planning, but not that, yeah. All right. Anything else, gentlemen, on that topic? Okay. All right, we'll move on. I didn't see any correspondence in the packet. And so we're to our next meeting, which is November 12th.
Oh, hey, Steve.
Oh, did I miss something?
Well, not really. Just, I mean, it's not on the agenda, but I don't know
Yeah.
when to bring it up. But I just wanted to follow up on the you mentioned maybe having an offline conversation about, retaining the consultant or what Liz Loomis is currently doing for us. I would just, I guess, like to weigh in on if we are going to continue, having this retainer kind of relationship. I would like to see or know kind of what they're continuing to do for us now on a monthly basis, and if it's negligible now that everybody's over the levy lid lift hump, and I don't know, might be a way to, save not an insignificant amount of money every month.
Did you want to offer any thoughts on that, Chief, or do you want to take that under advisement? Do you have any thoughts?
I'll wait to take direction from you and the board. I mean,
Okay.
I think if you want to discuss it later, it looks like Commissioner Johnson might want to say chime in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just, couple comments. One is, I know we were going to send out a mailer to the residents, and I thought we pretty much had that finalized in early September. And I'll admit I have not been around Bellingham too much lately, but I don't think I saw it. And I was wondering if that's still on their agenda to get that out.
It is on their agenda,
And-
and I actually slow played that one. I'm realizing that if we send out a mailer right now, it's going to end up in everybody's recycle bin because they're getting thousands of mailers because of the general election. So I actually was holding it off till after the election, and we drop it after the election so that they're in the hopes that people might actually read it, because it's going to look exactly like an election mailer, and it's just going to go in the round file.
Okay, I'm fine with that, but that's still in the works. We still are gonna send out that communication.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
I guess my other thought about keeping Liz Loomis around is if we need to kind of increase the communication depending on how things go with the annexation with the city. I mean, that might be a topic that we want to be communicating with the residents about if it develops. And I realize we don't know too much more right now, but I think that would be something that we may still want to retain their services for those sort of communications. At least have them in the back pocket in case we need to increase our communications on any annexation.
Sounds good. All right. Well, how about I need to meet with the chief hopefully this week or next week anyway. How about we discuss, and then at our November meeting, we'll bring back maybe a more thorough recommendation on which way we go with that, and you guys can chime in then. Does that work?
Yeah, and maybe, because Tim made some good points, maybe you could explore, see if they have any kind of arrangement where, we could rehire them, 6 months from now if we needed to send something out, communicate, professionally, so to speak, with everybody and coordinate that mailing as opposed to, just this monthly bill.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable. Yeah, we'll look into all that and we'll have a more clear picture for you next meeting then. If we need to take action before then, obviously we can reach out, but I don't anticipate that. So yeah, that sounds great. We'll consider all those things. And yeah, the annexation really isn't on our agenda today, but there's nothing new on that, right, Chief? We got the presentation from Bill last time. So, okay. Yeah, figured. Okay, November 12th. Anything else before we move on to the concluding portions? Yeah, go ahead, Chief. Yeah.
Would you gentlemen all look at, would it be possible to move the meeting to the 14th as opposed to the 12th? So move it from Tuesday to Thursday that week, same time?
It works for me.
The 14th, you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that should work for me too.
Will that work, Commissioner Johnson?
Yeah, I think it will work for me if we keep it at it as a noon meeting.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll keep it as a noon meeting. There's just some compression in schedules here, and it would give us a breather, but still allow us to make.
And that gives the office enough time to turn around, you know, payroll
Yep.
and everything.
Yes, it
Okay.
makes it, yep. And that was one of the consideration. If we do it by the 14th, we can get everything into the county on time.
Okay.
And do we have to make some sort of announcement somewhere that we're changing it?
We will, Jenny is all prepped to do that, and we'll
Great.
make all those changes. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right, then any agenda items off the top of your head for the next meeting? I think we should just continue all of these things. Go ahead, Chief. Yeah.
One more, there was at the joint planning meeting, Commissioner Cooley, you might remember that we talked about doing a joint budget study session.
Right. Yes.
On November, if you could check your calendars for November 22nd.
Yeah.
It's a Friday.
Oh, right. Yeah, I do have that on my calendar. Starting at 9 at
9 a.m.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
At the Odell station again,
At
right?
the Odell station. And Commissioner Land, if you needed to join by Zoom, we can make arrangements for that.
Okay, 9 a.m. November 22nd at Odell.
Yep.
And
And that
this
would be
is
a joint budget study session, so we could.
okay.
You'll come with a proposed and then we'll massage it. Is that the idea?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on my calendar, so I'll be there.
It's good.
Great.
I'll be there.
Yeah, thank you for reminding us of that, Chief.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we should carry over all these, both the unfinished and new business to the next meeting, I think, just to
Okay.
touch base on all those things. And then maybe add the annexation back just to make sure we have that as an item that we touch on anyway, even if there's no updates. Other than that, we got documents to sign and
Just real quick.
yes, sir.
So at the meeting on the 14th, that's going to be it'll be a special meeting because we changed the date, and it's also going to be a public hearing as well. We'll do our annual public hearing there for the resolution authorizing the 2025 property tax levy. So the 1%, although the member District 4 has that variable 1 to 3%, which is in the levy. So it will, you will want to do some research on, what is, and I'll bring budgets with 1, 2, and 3%, so you can see the different revenues in there. And then we'll need to do the levy certification that day as well. I'll get those from Mr. Quinn. So we'll have all that stuff done for submittal to the county. So that'll all happen on the 14th. Other than each of you contemplating or remembering that we're going to have a discussion about the 1 versus 3% levy rate increase, I will bring revenue calculations so you can see those. Nothing for you to do. It's staff will do it all. So staff.
Well, and you'll also, we'll also have expenses, maybe and some expense options to go along with it.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
We'll have some, what we think because by then we should have numbers for engines or for an engine and looking at what that, we should have some idea of what that exterior project's going to cost to Station 12. So.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so next meeting we'll have a few more items on the agenda to take care of. Okay. All right. Anything else for the good of the order? All right. Well, other than signing our documents, we're done. So we'll call this meeting. Do I need to take a motion? I noticed that in the minutes from last time, Jenny put that we made a motion to adjourn and that someone seconded it. Do we need to move to adjourn, or do I just say adjourn?
Yeah, honestly, Steve, that's just, as the chair and the way you organize meetings, that's totally your call.
Okay.
Whenever I chair meetings, I don't do motions to adjourn or anything like that. It seems to be pretty obvious when we're done, but it's your call.
Thank you. No, I feel the same way. I just wanted to be sure I wasn't stepping on anybody's toes. So we will consider this meeting adjourned, and I hope you all have a good day.